All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.
What is up, Justin? How you doing tonight, buddy?
What's up, man? What's up? How's your week? Holy fuck, I'm sore today.
Yo, it feels like we went from Saturday to Thursday in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
Wait, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie.
Right? It's wild.
We did it this past Saturday, right?
This past Saturday, yeah. It's tough. I seriously feel like I don't get any sleep anymore.
You said in the blink of an eye. To me, it seemed like forever.
Really?
The week dragged.
So?
Oh,
really?
Tonight's my only night off.
Mine's been going crazy. Well, yeah, you picked up extra hours, right?
Yeah, I went in yesterday.
Yeah. Which is why when I messaged you this morning, you're like, "Oh man, I'm right on the verge of sleep."
And that was so nice.
Yeah,
I think I fell asleep like 2 minutes after I sent that.
Yeah, we have we've got Jared with us again tonight after his you were sick last week, right, Jared?
I was. Yeah.
You
had that
were
man cold.
Yeah, the man cold. You were in a mini coma on Saturday.
I was.
Did you blame the beard or what happened?
No, I'm going for a fire marshal position, so I'm trying to stay cleaned up a little bit. So
nice. So what brought that on?
My brother, he owns a fire company. He was talking to somebody and somebody that I know, and he was teaching these fire marshals at a state class.
Right.
And he mentioned to my brother, "Hey, what's Jared up to?" And he goes, "Oh, he's over doing mechanical now, but he wants to get back into doing fire." And the guy was like, "Hey, we're looking for some people." So I'm trying to go for it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah, what does that entail? Like pay wise?
So it's assistant. It's I believe it's more, but it's an assistant fire marshal job. So I'm trying to. It's for new construction. So my goal, my dream job is to be a fire marshal. So
Dude,
being
awesome.
an assistant fire marshal is that next step. Because I've been a fire inspector. But that was just doing inspections. This is kind of a step up for me. So I'm hoping to get it, and so I'm trying to maintain that clean look. So
makes sense, man. Makes sense. I couldn't personally, I couldn't do it. Not for anything. Well, I say that, but I guess for the right amount of money. Maybe for short with it.
I couldn't ever.
Yeah, it's wild because my daughter has never seen me without a beard. So what I like to do is threaten her with me shaving my beard when she's really fucking bad. It tends to work. It tends to work.
Mean.
So mean.
So mean.
So I have something that I want to show you, Justin, and Jared.
Let's do it.
For that matter. So, Jared, do you want me to share it on my screen, or do you have it up?
I got it up. Let me put it up here.
So I had a coworker show me this video that his buddy took recently. So his buddy has some property. I guess they hunt on it, and he's got trail cams up. So the backstory to this is, he's checked the trail cams and found these lights. Okay, these lights just in the middle of the woods, middle of the night, nowhere around. You see them right there, two lights in the middle of the screen. And the guy said that as they get closer to the camera, it shuts the camera off. Now that sounds like something you've heard before when it comes to ghosts, right, Justin?
Yes.
Because they kind of draw on the energy around them. So
right.
I'm curious, Like I'm super intrigued because I'm looking at them and I'm like, what the fuck is it? You know, when you see stuff like this and when you hear ghost stories like this, you want to try to explain it away before you actually say, you know what, yeah, that's definitely something paranormal. So to me, that video looks like it looks like two plastic bags with a fire or a candle or something inside of them, right? Isn't that kind of what it looked like to you? That's what it looked like to me.
I mean, like they're spaced apart. So either, and I don't know if it's going to be a bug or anything like that. Like it looks somewhat in a distant.
Right. It looks like it's off in the distance.
So, but they move around too much to be headlights.
That's what I said. Well, and it's in the middle of a field.
And they seem pretty high up to be headlights.
Yeah. Like and you try to think about it and you're like, okay, so if someone's messing around, right? What are they doing and how are they doing that? So here's the other thing.
Chinese lanterns.
That's one thought I had is it could be Chinese.
But they
lanterns,
didn't seem like they were moving like that.
Well, and if it happens all the time, then you're buying a lot of different Chinese lanterns for this, are you not? To do it all the fucking time. It seems like a waste of money for a simple prank.
You said this was on a trail cam.
Not that video itself.
Not that
so
one.
He's gotten other videos of these lights on his trail cam. Other videos of these lights on his trail cam. But I guess he decided to go film this one night. He went to where he was seeing it and he saw it. Because in that video you could kind of see it's not still. The camera's not still. It looks like it's moving around. So I think that was a cell phone video. Now, from my understanding, that was a property that was once owned by the government. And then after the government owned it, Justin, you'll know this name. I believe it was the DeNaples family that owned it. So any number of crazy things could have gone on in this property to leave some kind of imprint or something, right?
Why are you jumping right to ghosts?
I mean, that's not a bad thought either.
Which brings
my first thought wasn't
right?
ghost. Even when you were describing it before the show, my first thought wasn't ghost.
You went to aliens?
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
What's up?
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, but I don't know why you went right there.
Well, because I'm always thinking about it, man. I'm always thinking about ghosts and the spiritual shit. And you know what, though? UFOs and aliens have been on my mind a lot lately, too, because more and more information is being put out from our government now. A lot of information is being declassified. And I would love to get into that kind of stuff, but I have not looked at these declassified documents. So I can't really speak on any of that yet. I do want to look at it. I do want to see what's been going on, what's been released.
Yeah, with
Nice.
that video, I would have to get some more footage because I mean, with that one, I can't really tell what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's tough. But Johnny in chat says yes, 100%. I believe in ghosts. And we've all had some experiences. I believe you said you did, Jared, right? I can't remember your stories.
A long time ago, and it's hard to remember, but yeah, I mean, I've had a few experiences.
Yeah, so we all believe in that. I definitely believe in UFOs and aliens and other life in this universe as well. But dude, it just, with how much stuff I've experienced and seen and believe in, I definitely gravitate towards ghosts first. One thing I think of when I see those,
are you going to answer the question of why you went there first?
I was going to say I did before.
Long form.
Yeah, I did before, but like it made me think of Gettysburg. I don't know why, but that made me think of Gettysburg. You know, Gettysburg is one of the most haunted places.
Right, but how often do you
hear
in the country of ghosts presenting themselves as lights?
Well, when you really
orbs, yeah, like
you
a
think
little
about
ball
it,
of energy, but
yeah, it's
not really
energy.
lights that would show up on like a trail cam from a distance.
Yeah, as I say, that doesn't appear to be orbs, but
No, it's
That's
just light, like energy. I don't know.
I don't know.
Johnny in
I
chat
would
says,
go
"I will
straight
smell my
alien.
uncle in the house, and this house hasn't been smoked in for 5 years." You know, that's another thing about ghosts is they say you get the strong scent of cigarette smoke. I mean, I don't know if that's just for someone who was a smoker, or if that's just a common smell in general when it comes to ghosts and spirits
Yeah,
and shit like
that's
that.
the first time I'm ever hearing that.
Really? You've never
Mhm.
heard this before?
No, I heard it get like you'd be walking through a place it's like 70 degrees, but there's like a dead zone that's cold.
Scent of perfumes or colognes, like different scents. It's
I don't
definitely
know. I've never heard smell
no, really. I've definitely heard that before.
a feeling, a buzzing in electronics, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, the power draw, the energy draw, because they need
Yeah,
something
like
to
a
present themselves with, right?
presence of energy.
Mm-hmm. But like it got me thinking. So when I got home and when I was preparing for the podcast tonight, I started looking up different places in Pennsylvania because Alex and I have always talked about maybe doing like a haunted car ride, you know, haunted tour of Pennsylvania. And I don't really know if she'd be into it as much as I would be, but like there's
there
definitely
was something on Facebook that had like a 2-day trip you could take through Pennsylvania to hit them.
yeah, I think I saw something like that once before too.
Not 2-day, maybe like a 5-6 hour trip.
so yeah, obviously Gettysburg.
Yeah, so I actually with Gettysburg here, I have a video that I want to share with you guys. I don't know if anybody's ever watched any films or documentaries on Gettysburg, but Gettysburg was one of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War, and they've had a lot of ghost shows, and they do ghost tours down in ghost tours, guys. They do ghost tours down in Gettysburg, and there's just so much history with that. And this video here, I'll just show you this one that I found. I'm not going to show you a whole shit ton of them, okay? But there's this one, and it says, "Is this a ghost in Gettysburg?" So we'll play this for you real quick. If you keep an eye on the right side of the road near the cannons, I know I've seen this clip more than once. But Gettysburg's really cool. I actually love to go down there and walk around at night. Look at that. Now, do you think this video is edited, or do you think this is legit?
So on your end, it was a little choppy. Let me see if I can
Right
pull
by
it
the
up there, though.
Yeah, that video was mad choppy.
Crazy. To me, that's crazy. Why did it go back up? Why did you go back up? Anyway. But yeah, you saw that on the right side, right?
Well, yours was didn't play that well.
No?
I guess no. So
damn shame.
hold on.
Well,
I got
we're gonna learn to allow the producer to do all the screen shares. I'm gonna have to send you all this stuff that I find beforehand, man.
I saw that.
There, I saw it.
Well, clearly yours looks a lot better than mine. We need to upgrade our gear here, man.
About right here.
Right in front. It looked like it stood up at the back of the cannon and just walked right in front.
Yeah, right in the back of the cannon. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Crazy.
Jeez. Am I having some issues again, guys?
Bad.
Really bad? Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
When you played that video, you went to talk and it fucking cut out and you were gone.
Good. Having internet issues with a hard wire. Absolutely beautiful. Love it to death. Don't share anything, Corey. Just remember that. Just remember, don't share anything on your computer. Oh my goodness. We've got a special guest here in chat tonight. Kid picked last. Guys, this is our guest from a few weeks back. Actually, holy crap,
Derek,
it's been a lot of weeks.
You can attempt the last name.
Derek Osaresis. Kid picked last. Still looking forward to more episodes of your Kid Picked Last podcast. I see you've been working on some images and some of your room and all that stuff, Derek. It looks awesome. Saw it up on Facebook. Super excited to get back into that and listen to your show. So, yes, there is that. There's Ghost. There's all kinds of fun stuff like that.
That video was pretty cool.
The Gettysburg one?
Yeah.
I definitely want to go. I mean, we went on a school trip a long time ago. Am I right? It's been a while.
Man, what was that? 8th grade?
Yeah, 7th or 8th grade, something like that.
So you got the Old Jail Museum in Jim Thorpe. Let's see here. You got a Mishler's Theater in Altoona.
There's one that I have been to for what the fuck do they call it? Like a haunted house that they did in Philadelphia at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Eastern State.
That one was really cool.
King George's, I know down in Philly. It said I think it's King George's.
They do a ghost tour in Lancaster.
Oh, do they? I didn't know they did one in Lancaster. I know they do one in Gettysburg. And believe it or not, Justin, locally they do a ghost tour as well. I keep seeing it when I search for ghost stuff in Pennsylvania. It shows ghost tours in Holmesdale, Pennsylvania. Did not know this. But there are a couple of haunted places in our area. The old jail is one of them, apparently.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. They've been doing that for a couple of years.
Hotel Wayne, I think, is one of them.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember the rest of them.
People have horror. I've heard horror stories about that fucking place.
Yeah. So, the Eastern State Penitentiary, when I went with my wife, we went for that, the haunted house that they did. So you only got to visit like that specific area. It's like a guided walkthrough. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind going if I didn't hate Philadelphia so much. Sorry, any city people. I hate Philadelphia. If I didn't hate it so much, I'd probably go back. But it's a really cool place, man. It's really nice down there. And I know we had an asylum or something locally here. I don't remember if they tore it down or not. It was out Newfoundland way, if I remember correctly. There was something out there that people would sneak into the property. That's something I would love to do. I would love to go into like an abandoned
I've heard
asylum.
people say like the cliff is haunted.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They used to have that hotel. They built that hotel up there, but it burned down as soon as it was built. There was nobody in it. So I don't know why that would be haunted up on the cliff. So for those of you listening who are not local, our town has a cliff. It's called Irving Cliff. We have this gigantic star that gets lit up on Christmas.
No, it doesn't.
It does now. What are you talking about?
Again? No,
yeah.
that stopped.
It was on last year. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it wasn't. That stopped because of the influx of the city assholes. Well, I can't say that. Not city assholes.
But anyway, there's an iconic. Don't listen to this guy. There's an iconic thing up there. Okay. And long ago, they had built a hotel up there. The hotel caught fire, burned down. But this is like an iconic area of our town. It overlooks the whole town. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool place, man.
It is. I love going up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they stopped lighting that up.
No, listen, I know they had
a couple years ago,
and people were complaining about it.
Right? No, and they stopped lighting it up that year.
I think you're behind.
No, that's why you have all the people that built them in their backyards and all the stickers.
Mm-hmm.
That jackass at the borough told couldn't do his coffee shit is the one who started that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's been a while.
All right. Well, if you say so. But I do want to say I have joined you. You have cursed me during the show last week. You cursed me. So now I don't get to watch playoff baseball anymore. I'm alongside you. Both of our teams are eliminated. It is what it is.
And
Damn.
like I said, we finished with a better record.
This fucking guy. Tell him why.
Just
Tell him why.
saying. Just saying, because you guys lost one more game than we did. We've won the same amount, and you lost one more.
It's something else.
We had the better
This is a good
record.
season, though.
No,
On to
but
football
dude, we
season,
got
though,
knocked
bro.
out by the Padres and the Phillies.
Oh my god. Yeah, and the Phillies won game 1 last night. Didn't they?
No, the Phillies lost game 2 last night.
Oh god, they're on to game. Oh god. Okay, so the headline I saw was from okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I am
game
up to
1 was
date on
2-0.
everything. I am
And,
up to date.
Game 2, 8-5 Padres.
Well, let's go Padres, man.
Mm.
Light them up now. Let's go. Knock these
And
Phillies out of
Astros.
here.
Let's go Astros.
Yeah, on to football season for us, though, man. On to football
Which
season. We have
is
something to cheer about
surprising.
finally.
I've never been so excited to watch. Oh, not never, but it's been a long time since I've been excited to watch a football game. Usually I turn it on because I'm their fan. I have to watch. And then you get disappointed in the first 10 minutes and you're like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it makes me wish that I had live streaming cable or something to be able to watch the games now. I'm such a fair weather fan. I'm such an asshole.
It's nice. This year kind of reminds me when we used to do football when I lived in that development.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy would come over and Giants would always get down, and in my head, or then it was out loud, we're done. That's it. Game over.
They've been
And
on
every
fire
time
with
they keep
comebacks
coming
this
back.
year.
4 this year. 4 comebacks. And all
It's
of
all
them
in the
figure double
coaching,
digits.
too. I think it's all in the coaching.
Daniel Jones has 4 game-winning drives this year in 5 games.
Yeah, this guy here in chat, this Jordan guy, he's not allowed to talk. This Eagles fan.
They're not that good.
What happened with them? Listen, you could say the same about the
Coaching.
Giants.
They have a new coach.
Yeah, same as us.
I don't even know the coach's name.
You know what's
And they had-
upsetting, though? It's upsetting, though. The Giants finally do something right. We're finally playing well. I say we. Finally playing well, and you got the Eagles and the Cowboys playing well also. So what the hell?
But it takes you back to the 90s, dude, when all of them were good.
Yeah, the beasts of the
And
East.
that's what made the NFC East.
Yeah. Yo, so you'll get a good kick out of what my wife's cousin did to me. So I get home from work today, right? And there's a box on the kitchen table, and I could see a reusable shopping bag sticking out of it with New York Giants logo on it. I look at my wife, I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, why is that in a box that looks like it came in the mail? And she's like, oh, hold on. It's for you. It's from my cousin, right? Her cousin Kenny. So she's like, hold on a second, though. Don't open it up yet. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would your cousin send me something and why are you like pulling out your phone? I was like, are you videotaping me? She's like, yeah, hold on. I'm like, why the hell are you videotaping this? And why is your cousin sending me something when it's not a special occasion? This is awkward. What are you doing? So I open it up, right? I pull out the bag. I'm like, okay, so there's something in it. It's a New York Giants reusable shopping bag. I open it up and I just let go. I just dropped it. Dropped the bag. Inside was a stuffed Carson Wentz.
Oh, God.
I was like, I look at her. I look right into the camera. I'm like, why would he do this? Then she stopped filming and I cracked up. I was dying laughing. I was like, this is ridiculous. So they got the bag when they ordered something. Whatever they ordered and got shipped to them was wrapped in this Giants reusable bag. So he's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm giving this to Corey, but I got to do something first. So he found this little thing, this Carson Wentz stuffed doll, this little plush for like dirt cheap and shoved it in there and sent it. I'm like, all right, that's funny. That's funny. That made my day. I enjoyed that.
Ugh. Carson Wentz. Dude, his career's over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can't stay healthy anywhere, and he sucks.
Yep.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, dude, football this year is wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
The
we
whole
like
the whole NFC East is good except for Washington.
yeah, fuck Washington.
Yeah.
They're in DC, so they can fuck off with the rest of DC right now. Okay,
I'm
And
close by.
fuck 'em.
I'm not
Yeah,
in DC
what?
though.
Fuck the whole government. Fuck the whole government right now. Fuck 'em. Midterms are coming up. We can make things better. Go out and vote. Go out and vote in midterms, guys. Make the changes you want to see. If you don't vote, can't fuck around and complain.
Yeah, the other thing that reminds me of that, like 2010, 2011, the Giants are underdogs in every game, dude. It don't matter
Yeah.
who we play. They're underdogs this week going in against Jacksonville.
Yeah, are we really?
Yeah, Jacksonville's got 2 wins.
Yeah,
we're
they're 2 and 4.
we're +3.
Like I won't go in depth with any of this sports analysis because guys, we are not a sports show, we are not sports analysis, but we do love sports. So you're gonna get a little bit of it from time to time, especially now during the NFL season.
But did you
And
see what
our
happened
season's
during
good.
the Philly game though?
No,
People were booing Jill Biden.
booing Jill Biden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That makes me so excited.
She was trying to do Fly Eagles Fly, and she got booed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's funny because that's
Well,
very,
man, when your husband
very
is
democratic
running our
part of
country into the
Pennsylvania.
ground, it's kind of what you get. I mean, I really like this person's name in chat.
What's
Munch
up,
moist
moist?
muffins. Ooh, woo. I like it. It makes me smile. Thank you for making my
you
evening.
ooh-wooed a little too good there, Corey.
You're saying that like it excited you, Justin.
No.
Ooh, woo.
It was a little too on point for you. That
I'm just your average
I'm learning
everyday
things
anime
about
watcher.
you here. I don't know.
Hey, man. Don't get too excited over there, okay?
I won't.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
won't.
That's all I'm saying.
Did you see the other thing that happened in the Philly Dallas game?
No.
Dallas is one corner. Trayvon Diggs, I think. I don't know. Their stud corner. He got burnt like 3 times. He literally threw a temper tantrum in the end zone.
Really?
Fucking hilarious. Took his helmet off, slammed it. Looked like he was crying, yelling into I don't know what receiver in Philly's face. It was fucking funny. It was all over Facebook, memes everywhere.
That's part of this generation that was never told no.
For real.
These kids that don't get told no and they fucking throw their tantrums and they think the world owes them something and that they should be given everything. Holy shit, how does sports take me in such a different direction with my mindset? Fucking fuck. This world, man. This world. Did you see what our president did? Did you see the speech he gave?
I didn't see the speech. I heard, yeah.
Yep. And it's
Being himself.
it's not just conservative news outlets that are kind of mocking him for his statements on fossil fuels and oil reserves and all this shit and lowering gas prices and
that's all
doing
him.
good.
All him.
Yeah, it's all him doing good things for the oil industry. I can't remember the exact term. I already got rid of the video because I don't want my shit to lag. But I had a video up before of his speech. I was going to share that. I don't know if you could find that or not. It was on the Fox News YouTube. The very beginning of it, the very beginning of that video is where that clip is. If you find it, Jared. But
Yep.
he tries to take credit for lowering gas prices and denies that he's doing it for political gain. Denies that he's doing it for political gain. Although it's strange that it's less than a month away from midterm elections.
2 weeks.
And he's trying to do this. Yeah. It's like 20 days or some shit. It's like 19 or 20 days at this point.
Like, come on, dude. There's no way it's not to get votes. to get
Yeah.
Democrats in seats.
100%. You know, the crazy part is it's him releasing oil from our reserves is what it is.
Right.
It's supposed to. It's not. The reserves aren't meant to be used as a supply. They're meant to be used as a reserve in case of emergency. Basically, like the glass that you break to get to the fire hose in these buildings in case of emergency. That's what these reserves are supposed to be. And he's just doing it to try to lower costs, to make himself look better, to make Democrats look better before the election, in hopes that people vote blue come November. But it's being denied. Of course it is, because why not? Did you find the clip of him speaking?
But now
It's one of the newer Fox News videos from today.
Yeah,
people who
that's what I was
actually
hoping
pay
for.
attention to what's actually going on instead of being spoon-fed the bullshit. They know it doesn't matter if he brings gas down 20 cents. He's still the reason it's up $2.
Okay, so did you hear? God, there's my stupid laugh again to try to. I don't know. I hate when I do that laugh. I listen to the episodes back and I hear me laugh like that. I'm like, what am I even doing? What am I doing? But anyway, did you hear that if Biden decides not to run for re-election in 2024, who is probably going to be the Democratic candidate?
Doesn't it go
Who's
to
that?
Kamala?
No. Someone that they say is going to run and probably win the Democratic ticket.
Who's that?
Gavin Newsom. So they say if Biden and Trump do not run, which I don't think Trump should run. I think both of these men are way too old. I actually think that we need to set an age limit for presidency. That's what I think. I think you shouldn't be over a certain age, no matter who the fuck you are. But if either one of them don't run, you're probably going to see Gavin Newsom against Ron DeSantis. So basically,
the Democrats are literally killing their party.
right. Well, I think so, because I think Newsom's a complete tragedy. But
Everybody does. Everybody does.
What it's gonna come down to is, do you want our country to be run like California, or do you want our country to be run like Florida? Look at the disaster that is California. You want that to be our whole country? I can't imagine it. Alexandra in chat says, I wish DeSantis would run. I think a lot of us do. I think DeSantis is kind of like Trump in certain ways, but I think he's better mannered, more well spoken, knows what he's doing, and I honestly think he can do a better job than Trump did. Although, when Trump was in office, you saw a huge difference between when career politicians were running the White House to when him, a businessman, ran the White House. And here's the crazy thing too. When it comes to Trump, before Trump came along, I think people on both sides of the aisle always talked about how we need someone in office that has not been a career politician, someone who's not in it for themselves, someone who's not trying to make a monetary gain from the position or trying to grab onto power, right? So then we finally get that. Now, a lot of people forget that Trump was a Democrat before he made his run as president. Huh?
A lifer.
Yeah, he was a Democrat before making his run, but he knew. Well, first off, his values did start changing, right? Like many people have been, but he knew that if he ran on the Democratic ticket, he would never beat out Hillary in the primaries, which is funny to me because he ended up beating her for the presidency. But I guess he just needed that extra time to run for president, to get his message out.
Well, did you hear who also might be running?
No.
Another non-political guy.
Another non-political guy?
With a lot of fucking money.
Well, I was going to say, before you said that line, I was going to say
Jeff
who?
Bezos.
Kanye?
Just
Mark Cuban.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he would run it like a business, he
Honestly,
would run independent.
He's somewhat political.
so
I've seen him speak on politics.
what party is he affiliated with? I don't even know. Is he Democrat? Is he Republican?
I don't know.
Or like you said, he's independent. Is he independent?
I think he would run independent. I think that's what he said.
Now, I think our country would benefit from having more than two parties, but it's never going to happen. Like because
yes,
what happens is you get what you're seeing today. You get people who are so far apart on every issue, and nobody wants to give. Everybody wants their ideas, their views, or none. Like
right. But a guy like Cuban might be able to come out of an independent party.
Ooh, here we go. Here's an interesting comment from chat. This wonderful, wonderful name in chat, Much Moist Muffins, says we have a lot more parties in Norway. So I did not realize we have someone from another country in chat today. That is absolutely incredible. I would actually love to hear more about how your government system works. Norway. Now, Norway, is that more of a socialist country right now?
We got the Labor Party, Conservative Party, Center Party, Progress Party.
Quick note, though, their Conservative Party is different than our Conservative Party,
yes.
is it not?
Yes, I know Moist. I know Moist, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
They have Socialist Left Party, the Red Party, Liberal Party, Green Party, Christian Democratic Party, and Patient Focus. So if we take a look, let's see, I mean, we got quite a bit. It shows when they're founded here. So the newest one here is called Patient Focus. Looks like it was founded last year. Direct democracy. We have some socialism, social liberalism, democratic socialism, liberal conservatism. So, and then it also shows, if they're left or right. But yeah, that's a lot of parties there.
Yeah. Okay, so their Conservative Party is more center right, it looks.
Yeah, center left though. I mean, well, right here the majority center left.
That's the Labor Party, huh?
The Labor Party, and then you have your Conservative Party, which is center right. So
that's interesting.
Yes, there, in that case, you could, as you're looking at that, I can almost like break down how America would fall there. Like we should have that about that many parties.
Let's see what we have.
Because
I honestly think a lot of Americans
fall in center left and center right. That's the way the Democratic and Republican Party should be. But now it's being run by these far left, far right.
Well, the parties used to be a lot closer together too.
More center right, but
the parties used to be a lot closer together, and we used to be able to communicate and not fly off the handle and work together and compromise, right? We used to be able to compromise, which seems to be a very difficult thing to figure out nowadays. That's a big problem. Not really into politics, but compared to USA, we have a bunch of parties to vote for. I would love to learn about how your voting process works. And
Jared, do you still have that chart?
Yes, I got it up here. Just a note here. We got Democratic, Republican, Libertarian, Green, Constitution, Alliance. So just to name a few, Unity Party of America, Working Class Party, Working Family Parties. So, but let me pull this up here.
People do make up a lot of parties in our country, but I mean, only 2 of them get on the big stage for the actual presidential debates.
Right.
And
so yeah, those top 2 there, like our Republican and Democratic parties should be, but we're letting the Democratic Party get run by affiliation. Where the hell was that?
So here's the positions each party.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And we're letting it get run by the Red Party. The Democratic Party's getting run by the Red Party. You know what I mean? Like the
Straight up
minority of
socialism.
the party is running it.
That is true, Moist. We
Listen,
talk about
okay, so
two
what
parties basically.
you said you know him as Ragnar. What did he? Where was that? Where you said his actual name is up here? Espen.
I call him
Espen.
Moist.
So Espen, the reason our country talks about just the two is because they're really the only two parties that have a big enough affiliation to get on the big stage when it comes to the actual debates and the actual ticket. The
Yeah,
other
it's
parties,
It's hard
Yep.
running,
yes,
if you're not a Republican or a Democrat.
So when it comes to our presidential debates, our debates are not run by the government. They're run by the different media networks. And in order to have a seat on the stage, on the big stage, when it comes to the presidential elections, that party has to have had a certain amount of votes or certain percentage of the votes in the previous election. I can't remember what the number is. I don't know if it's 20%, 25, 30, something like that. I feel like it's a big it might not be that big. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the exact number. I don't know if you can find it, Jared, or not, but I do know they need a certain percentage of votes in order to be included in those debates. And the biggest problem is it's always been Democrats and Republicans. So people who want a career in politics or people who want to make a run at office, they know that their best opportunity to win a seat or win an election is to run on either the Republican side or the Democrat side. So run on either
So
ticket.
maybe you get a guy like Cuban who runs independent
That's what you need. I mean,
and
that's
has
what
the
country
money
needs.
and draw that these news stations who basically only want the fucking ratings
That's a
will
huge
pull
problem.
him in to be in the debates because he's a draw just because of the name and the fame.
Yeah. So real quick, I want to take a quick second to remind everyone that we are a live show. We broadcast weekly. We alternate Saturdays and Thursdays. So next week, we will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow us on all those platforms. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Do not forget to follow us on TikTok at NDT Podcast. Most places, as long as you search Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast, you can find us. We are available on audio platforms as well, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you seem to listen to your podcast. Those are the three major ones, so you can definitely check us out there. And don't forget, the best way to help support the show is to make sure you're clicking like, you're sharing. If this resonates with you, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button. The live streams, that means a lot. If you share the live streams, get more friends in here, show more people the show for us. And another way to support the show is you can purchase some of our merch from our merch store at streamlabs.com/NDT podcast/merch. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, tumblers. We've got a nice little mason jar cup and a few other things, a few other little goodies. Make sure you grab your stuff today. Check out that nice t-shirt that Fire is sporting right there. I've got my hoodie on. Clutch has his t-shirt on. Man, this stuff is super cozy, super comfortable. You're going to love it. So we appreciate everything that you guys have done for us lately. Everything has been really taking off, and we appreciate everybody's help in getting the word out there about the show. Thank you all. Seriously. Alexandra, you have a great night as well. Enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate that. Okay, back to the topic at hand. So,
I think
Corey,
Cuban can break
2028.
the mold. We are old enough now, aren't we?
We are. But yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
Cuban can break the mold, huh? It's what we need if we want
And
to have
especially
a third party involved.
if, say, he ran with Tulsi Gabbard.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about is what you think is going to happen there with Tulsi since she left the Democratic Party. I think we might have mentioned it the last time.
I think her and Cuban are going to run.
You
think that's
think
going
her
to
and
happen.
Cuban are going to run together?
Uh-huh.
Nice, Jack. Nice.
Yeah, because she's
comrade, you are correct.
She's very center aisle.
She is, but you know what? The more I listen to her, did you listen to her on Joe Rogan?
How long? I don't know if I listened to that.
It
one
was
yet.
recent. It was this past week, or no, it was last
Then
week. She
no,
was
I
on.
haven't.
It's when she actually was it his show that she announced she was leaving the party. I think it was on his show that she said she was leaving the Democratic Party. But if you listen to her now, Joe Rogan, I think considers himself a libertarian. Is that
Yes.
would I be correct in saying that? But when he speaks, he more so sounds like he leans more to the right than anything else. Right? And Tulsi Gabbard sounds the same way. I don't think she's really a Democrat. I'm glad she left the party, but when
Which
she
is
speaks,
why the far left was terrified of her running, because she is a like that party breakdown in the way it's supposed to. She is like, she probably is a true Democrat, just like Rogan is probably a true Democrat. But the way it's getting twisted and fucked up now, we're looking at them as looking a little more to the right.
well, a lot of it's just the parties have gone so far apart. But to me, when I really look at it, it really seems like the right stayed where it was, maybe moved slightly more to the right. The mainstream right stayed where it was or moved slightly to the right, whereas the left just kept wandering down this trail, getting further and further away.
Okay. I agree with your, like, the left got further and further away, but I don't think the right went any more right. If anything, it's creeping left. It's taking over what they're leaving behind.
So I was gonna say, so you're
That's
saying
that's why I'm saying
like this bit here and just shift the line.
Yeah, because that's why I'm saying, like, 15, 20 years ago, Rogan's a true Democrat. Gabbard is a true Democrat, but now they're looked at as right leaning, and they're
let's
the way it was, they're not.
Let's listen to the clip that they have. This was from a few days ago.
Be a Republican, but you cannot be a Democrat. Who was the guy that came up with that? That's good, man. We got to Google that. Here is Tulsi on Rogan again explaining how the Democrats are ruining America.
That's the danger of it, is the people in charge of the Democratic Party, whether they actually hold positions or they just are influential in the Democratic Party, have created this cult-like atmosphere and fomented this fear so much so that people who are really in a position to impact this, to stand up against it and say, hold on, guys, this is literally insane and needs to stop. They're too afraid to do so because of what the ramifications will be. The Democratic Party that I joined doesn't exist anymore. The party that was, the party of JFK, of Dr. Martin Luther King, the party of inclusivity, the Big Tent party that welcomed and encouraged this marketplace of ideas and conversations and people who held different views, the party of, that championed women and equality and the rights of people in our society. That party it doesn't exist anymore. And instead we have a party that's being led by people who have gone insane with this ideological fanaticism. And there are a lot of different issues, a lot of different examples. The whole issue of biology and the trans issue is just one of them. There are so many different others. Parents you don't have a right to raise your kids now. You don't have a right to say what they're being taught in schools now. The state, the government, the teachers unions, only they have that right and responsibility. They're undermining families. They don't believe in the rule of law. Defund the police, the Supreme Court. We don't agree with them, so they're illegitimate.
Guys, that's the chick that's leaving the party, right?
110%.
Wait,
and
what
comment
was his point
JFK,
on that?
What?
Like, was he? I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm trying to figure out.
I think I can turn these guys around. They're listening and they're good, decent people, and I enjoy being with them. Maybe more sane centrists would be going in that direction. But that is not what's happening. Of course, Tulsi is right about all of those things. So she's making a lot of sense.
I thought he was trying to say, like, I don't know. I thought it was.
I don't know. She basically saying she makes a lot of sense. So
yeah, and when she mentions Democrats like JFK, today I think JFK might be
is a Republican.
He's 100% a Republican today.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know, Justin, now I know why you like Tulsi Gabbard. I do. I understand. You just think she's a good-looking woman. So she
That
gets you
has
right.
nothing to do with it. I didn't even know what she looked like, to be honest.
No, Justin told me that if she had run in this last election between Trump and Biden, if she had won instead of Biden, he would have voted for her 100%.
I would have voted for her over Trump.
Justin's a Republican. He would have voted for the Democratic candidate.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Totally.
Like, I think a lot more
Because
people
I'm a
really,
Republican because
really
I have to register to be able to vote in primaries and all of that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm down the middle. Like I consider myself a lot like Rogan, where I'm like a libertarian. Like I can see it. I see it right down. I lean right, but I can see it right down the middle.
So here's where we're at with our democratic government right now, the Democratic Party. Like we live in a society now where the leaders are saying that your feelings are more important than the facts. And I personally feel like that's a very dangerous line of thinking. Like they're really just trying to cater to people to try to get more votes for the next election. And not to say that Republicans don't try to farm votes either. It's a problem with career politicians. Like once they get into office, their main priority is staying in office. So they basically do whatever they can to attract the right people for the right amount of time to get those votes during the next election. And when we had Trump, that dude made promises, campaign promises, and whether people fucking liked him or not, he kept them.
He did it. Yep.
Like as soon as he got into office, he started doing the damn things he said he was going to do. And it is not often that you have a politician that does that.
Well,
like, that is a rare
you don't
thing.
have a politician that that does that.
I
You
try
have Trump.
I try to
did it.
sugarcoat shit, okay? I try to sprinkle the sugar on there a little bit. That's what I try to do.
You're right. They have to keep leaving promises out there to make.
God damn, man. I'm sitting here listening to our conversation and it makes me think, man, it doesn't matter what the episode is or what the game plan is. We end up talking about ghosts and politics. It's a weird fucking combination. It's a weird fucking combination. Listen, if this was my full-time job, I'd be sitting at home in my office on my computer all day researching political shit. Because, I mean, as much as people hate talking about this stuff, these are the important things in our lives, man. And as you get older, you realize how important all of this is. Figuring out what direction our country's going to go, what direction the world's going to go in.
Well, that's like right now I pay attention to world news, not fucking national news.
And that's important, but I mean,
I'm trying to pay attention more to this Russia-Ukraine thing and
Russia-Ukraine and fucking China.
And North Korea getting ballsy and starting to shoot missiles over Japan and shit.
Yeah, I was going to say about the North Korea bullshit with them. What are they doing? Test firing missiles?
Uh-huh.
That's what they're just testing them. They're trying to show their might. Notice how all this shit happens after Biden takes office. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not a coincidence.
War is money, dude.
It is. It really is. But I think it's insane that North Korea's getting away with what it's gotten away with for how long now? Like
probably
so many
before we were born.
So many people act like most of the world acts like America is like the world police, basically.
Hey, I didn't think we had a guest today.
Who guest over there? That's another thing. I mentioned that. I mentioned the America and the world police bullshit, and it makes me think. So many countries around the world like to talk shit about America, and complain about all kinds of shit that goes on over here and blame America for this, blame America for that. But when they run into trouble, who's the first fucking person they call? Who's the first country they call for help?
Right.
Yep.
Like no matter how you feel about our country, no matter how you feel about the USA, if you are a citizen of the USA, you need to appreciate what we have here. Like our lives are so fucking cushy that we are allowed to bitch and complain about the most trivial bullshit. Like it's the most horrendous thing in our fucking lives. Jack Ryan says, for us, it's England. So Jack is from Australia. Is it because they kicked you guys out and put you on an island as prisoners? This is when the prisoners get ballsy and go attack the guards, right? So you attacking England would be like you attacking the guards. We are their problem, he says. I love it.
So, what the hell was? I think I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I was watching. I don't know. I came across like a soccer match, and it was right at the beginning. Or no, it was the fucking Giants game against the Packers in London. So it's pregame, and they do the national anthem, and then they do the British national anthem. God save the king.
Yeah, it's God save the king. Now.
Imagine living in a country where, as the leader changes, your national anthem changes. I would have been, those old people at that game probably were like, this is weird, because their entire life they have a queen.
Yeah.
And now like
she was what, 97?
Yeah, 97 or 98. She was old.
And she took the throne. She was young. Was it 17 or 23 or some shit like that? I can't remember. She was queen for a long time. But now in England, they're the royal family now. They're just kind of like figureheads. They're not the ones that actually run the country anymore, right?
They still have power, but they don't use it. From what I've gathered, they have the power, but they don't use it.
Yeah.
They literally just get taken care of.
The thing I want to mention about the national anthems before that NFL game, watching our Giants over there in England, which the game they won, by the way. Oh, yeah.
Well, we've never lost in England.
The thing that I really loved about that is over in England, when they played our national anthem, the stadium did not, like the people in the stadium did not have anything negative to say or do about it. They respected it. Right? I thought it was really cool to see both anthems played and to get cheers for both countries. I fucking loved that. Just like I like in the NHL when they play in Canada, don't they do both national anthems every time?
They do both national anthems at every game.
That's really cool. I really like that. And when people have a distaste or a dislike for another country, I always wonder to myself, do they realize that what they dislike or what they hate about that country is most likely the government and doesn't have anything to do with the people? Because with my experience on Twitch and with podcasting and stuff, it's led me to meet a lot of people from around the world, different countries, and I get along really well with people from all over the place.
Right, like if but there are countries that get their people to hate our people.
Do you like if you listened to that one episode of Rogan with the North Korean girl who escaped?
Yeah.
The way she talks about how they basically indoctrinate them to believe that the USA is the most evil place. Like that's wild. Media controls a lot. And nowadays in our country, media is just an extension of the government anymore.
Or is the government an extension of the media, like in Canada?
Whoa. That's crazy.
Mind blown.
Yeah, no.
Because
I don't know, man.
Up there, the fucking media is government funded. They're not private. They're all government funded. What is it? CBN? Whatever the hell they're.
I don't know. The media really is the virus, but it's definitely the long arm of the government. Especially the last couple of years here, the last few years, the government basically telling these companies what they should and should not allow. Control of information is a powerful thing. Having control of the information that's distributed to your people is a powerful thing.
All right, because I mean, I just read the other day. So my wife sent me something about the CDC is going to start requiring vaccines in children to be able to attend public school, right? And so the media gets a hold of it, and then you have like Tucker Carlson, stuff like that. You have the media that hears that, and the media just blows it out of proportion, and they're sitting here telling you that that's going to happen. But then you got people, the CDC has no right to get into public schools, and whether or not they can require something that is up to the state. And so people are just like, oh, we're going to take them out, we're going to homeschool our kids and stuff like that. It's going to happen. But the media blew it out of proportion because right now people are like, it came from the CDC. It did not come from state legislators.
Right.
The
well, they recommended it, right? But then didn't they walk it back? Didn't they walk it back?
I believe so. But yeah, you see how quickly the media can fuel the flame.
Big time.
Just like not having the shot now isn't a big deal.
Oh my
Not
God!
as
We could
big a deal.
listen. We could go next episode. We can go on and talk about, and we'll. I mean, if YouTube ever catches on, we could probably get a slap on the wrist or like a short ban from YouTube for this. But we could talk COVID bullshit, man, and all this shit. I watched a video while I was prepping for tonight from Russell Brand, and he was discussing COVID and the vaccines and the efficacy and whether Pfizer. It was a Pfizer statement. They were talking about, or they were asked if they knew if it would stop the transmission before they put it out to the public. And they said, well, of course we didn't know that. But then you have, like, he shows this montage of all of these higher ups, including the president, talking about, end it with you. Fauci saying, stop it with you. You get the vaccine, you stop it with you. You end the virus at you. You do not spread it. But they were trying to tell people that you cannot transmit it if you get the vaccine. And it's just not true. And there's all this data out there now to prove that. And then
and then on top of it, the vaccine doesn't even stop you from getting it.
No, that was only what they said in the beginning. I'll give them that. They only said that in the beginning. And they only changed their mind like 15 times.
Only 15.
Watch the new Fauci documentary. It's wild. Fauci really just liked to keep himself in the spotlight. He liked looking at that little red light on the camera. He really enjoyed the spotlight. He loved it, and he would do anything he could to stay there.
I mean, to what Jack was saying, I mean, that's kind of what they were saying. But beforehand, they were talking about how you're not going to spread it and stuff like that. They had to roll it back and be like, no, it's meant to lessen the symptoms so that people, you're not going to die from it if you get the vaccine. So, and then later on, they just keep coming out with new things on the vaccine.
Yeah,
but there's always a reason to hate people who don't get it.
Right. Well, and now the data that's out. Oh my God! I said we could do this next episode, and here we are doing it now. But now they're saying that whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, okay, you can still carry the same amount of the virus in you, and you can still spread it to someone else. And now, what I'll say to that is, if you're vaccinated and it truly lessens the symptoms, but you're carrying the same amount of the virus inside of you as someone who's unvaxxed, you're not going to notice the symptoms right away. So wouldn't that make you more of a transmitter than someone, say, who didn't get the vax and felt the symptoms and maybe stayed home because they weren't feeling well, as opposed to someone who has the virus and goes out in public because they feel okay, maybe it's just allergies, so they're going out doing whatever they want?
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm just saying. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying, do your own research. That's all I'm saying. But at this point, the virus, the COVID-19 virus it's a more severe version of the flu, and it's here to stay. It's not going to be eradicated. If you want the vaccine, go get the vaccine. That's on you. Don't force people to get the vaccine. And the studies that have been coming out on the vax with children is there's a bunch there's too many kids that are coming down with myocarditis from the vaccine. Well, no, not the vaccine. No, but this is not something that has happened before. Now all of a sudden,
Right.
they're having these issues, these heart issues.
Well,
Why?
Fauci's getting criticized because he's starting to say now he had nothing to do with closing schools for COVID, but all the interviews he did in the past says otherwise.
Dude, Fauci is like a fucking meteorologist.
He's
He didn't even have to get shit right, and he got to keep his job. He had
yeah.
a 50-50 chance. So he would say one thing, and then he'd go walk it back the next week or the next month and keep changing his mind and say, oh, well, you got to trust the science. I am the science. You have to trust me. Motherfucker, you are the science, but you keep changing what you're saying. You are not God. You are not the be-all, end-all.
He was playing it. He funded it. Anyway.
It's just crazy to me that we demonized people. As a society, we demonized people who would not get a vaccine.
Right. So now back to your point.
People just didn't trust it. And they had every right not to.
Fucking
Clearly.
About the super spreaders. It's the virus of the unvaxxed. Right?
Pandemic of the unvaccinated.
That was what Biden said.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, the vaccine lessens symptoms. Talking about going to work now because they kind of feel so wouldn't that have made them the super spreaders, and the reason it just kept fucking going and going and going because they were the ones not having to wear masks. They were the ones who were protected. They were the fucking spreaders.
Yep. So, and to Jennifer's point in chat here, she said, once it's added to the schedule, the pharma companies can't be held liable for injuries. It's such a rabbit hole. I think what she means when she says when it's added to the schedule, I think that means the vaccinations that are required for schools. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, if that's what you're meaning or not meaning. But
oh, Jesus Christ, then that's getting pushed through 100%.
And the other thing with that is won't be held liable for injuries. There's a reason that the vaccine was pushed as an emergency thing.
You saw what was happening in construction, right? Obviously, I work in construction, and you had companies that were saying that you had to go get vaccinated as part of a contingent of employment.
Mm-hmm.
And then OSHA came out and said, okay, well, if they get injured or if they get sick because of the COVID shot,
yes,
you're going to pay workman's comp. You know how quickly companies said, "No, we're not going to require it." Then, like OSHA basically said, "Well, if that's true, this is what you're going to do."
Yeah,
that wasn't even just construction. That went across the board for the most part.
Yeah,
because our job was thinking about pushing that, and I went right to the EHS lady at the time, and I was like, "Look," and it was right after that OSHA thing came out, and I brought that right up. I was like, "You can't fucking put that in. You cannot force us to get that shot."
Yeah, that's what Jen meant by adding it to the schedule of vaccinations that are required for going to public schools. But yeah, when they first rolled out the vaccine by doing it or making an emergency declaration, they were not liable for anything that happened. If you had something happen to you, if you ended up with some kind of ailment or something from the vaccine, these companies were not held responsible for it. If you died because of it, they were not held responsible for it. I know several people myself that it's not confirmed by doctors, but shortly after getting the vaccine, they passed away. Like, there are certain conditions you should not be getting it in. And I was told that I should get the vaccination, and I found out earlier this year that I have something called factor V, which causes me to clot easier, form blood clots a lot easier than most people. So if I was to get the vaccination, since it was having those issues in the first place, there's a good chance I could have formed a blood clot in my lungs and been fucking killed without even thinking about it. Would have never saw it coming. So I was not about that.
Well, that's
I was
like.
not ready to take that
Did you
risk.
listen to the Aaron Rodgers Rogan?
I listened to most of that episode. Yes.
Right in the beginning, he was saying he was allergic to something in the RNA or mRNA,
Right.
in whatever, and then the only other one on the market was the Johnson & Johnson, and that had just been recalled because of the clotting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But if the mRNAs are causing issues such as myocarditis, that's not any better. That's
Right.
really not any better.
It's
So
just,
yeah,
it's funny to look now and see how everything when we were conspiracy theorists, when we would listen to this and be like, oh, you know what, that makes sense, right? And follow what we were being told or looking up. Conspiracy theorists, it never fucking happened, and everything has played out to basically be on point.
The one thing that I really don't understand is how any doctors out there can tell a pregnant woman that they should get it, or now that they're telling parents to get their infants vaccinated with this. There are no studies done on the effects this has on children. I'm sorry, man, but I am not willing to take that risk, to take that chance with a young child.
So
Absolutely not.
I did it because obviously I work for the government. But I said, if they mandate it to be in public schools, I will figure out a way, but I will make sure to homeschool. I'm not putting something into my child that has not been around for that long and has not been tested to see if there's any long-term problems. So I will take him out of school.
Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't looked at the updated numbers recently, but last I knew, it was somewhere in the 90% range, 90, 94% of the people who did die from COVID had a minimum of 4 other comorbidities. So they had other issues on top of getting COVID.
Yeah.
And along with numbers being altered by doctors. Crooked doctors are trying to get their hospital's money. So I don't trust the numbers at all. And as far as, younger, healthier people go, yeah, while getting COVID might suck and it's a horrible version of the flu, most people, it's not going to kill you. If you look at the numbers and you look at statistics, if statistics matter to you, then it's really not as bad as they made it out to be. The power of media, man, we were talking about it before. It's the power of media, the power of suggestion.
It is, because the definition of coronavirus has been around for plenty of years, and the definition of it is a simple cold or flu.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing was, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've been watching, I've been wanting to see if there's anything like this, and I've seen a few, but vaccine, because you hear like, what was it? Somebody, was it Microsoft, Bill Gates, somebody that was talking about how the world population needs to be down, right?
It's Bill Gates in the late 80s, early 90s.
And you think, is the vaccine designed, maybe not right now, but is the vaccine designed to take out the population so that the world can survive? Obviously, not enough people have died. People have died, don't get me wrong, not enough people died to let me believe that this is the case.
Mm-hmm.
But is it a long-term thing? Is it meant to be something in the next few years? But I won't go get any more boosters. I got my
Is it
shot,
meant to
I'm
weed
done.
out the weaker members of the society?
That's
See,
what
now,
I mean. I don't know.
I saw that from the other side. Like, I wasn't thinking that the vaccine was built for that. That's what the virus, I thought, was built
Yeah.
for. To attack the weak.
And like the
weed
virus
them
was
out.
the virus was, or the vaccines were to see if you were complicit, to see if you were the ones that were going to listen to the government.
Ooh, yes. Dude, there's so many conspiracy theories that we can track down with
I
this
don't
kind
know.
of stuff.
Right.
Listen, I gotta take some time one of these weekends and do some serious research on stuff like this because we can have a good conversation. Okay, so Stacy in chat says, I tested myself 2 times, negative. Went to urgent care 2 days after my second test. They said negative. Gave me prescriptions. 4 days later, still really sick. Took another home test, negative. 3 months later, get the urgent care bill. Diagnosis, COVID. Don't trust the numbers.
Right.
Jack Ryan says its original plan was to trigger the one world government plan. Oh my God, yes, let's talk
Yep.
about that. A tactic to
New
make
World
us
Order.
have to join together as a planet so we are governed under one federation. It's, yeah, they've been talking about one world government for years. Hillary Clinton mentioned it in her campaign in 2015, 2016, when she was making her run. And I'm pretty sure Obama had mentioned it a few times. I know the Canadian Prime Minister, Mr. Douchebag up there, has talked about one world government.
Trudeau.
The only, man, this is a whole other topic that we can get to. I don't. It'd be nice to have everybody working together and all on the same page.
Yes.
You know, the world's all sunshine and rainbows when you look at it that way. But that's not the way that it's planned out. That's not the way that it's mapped out. It's a particular number of people at the very tippy top that are hungry for power and control. And holy shit, my house is chaos. Welcome to the world, everybody.
You're the only one that can hear it.
Thank God. Hold on. You know, the children have been really good today. Until now. They're
Well,
young.
you have good enough mic that it cancels out everything but you, so
It's a fucking beautiful thing, man. This equipment. Oh my God. Next on the list is a good pair of headphones. Jack says I'd follow the Federation of Earth. Listen, what if that show Futurama is real? Because 1,000 years in the future on Futurama, it's just Earth, man. They have their flag for Earth. I'm just saying. Maybe Matt Groening is a time traveler. You seen it with
the
Simpsons?
same guy that wrote
he has
Simpsons,
told
right?
a lot of yep, he has told a lot of things in the Simpsons.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, we can get into some good stuff these next couple episodes. I do have another person who reached out to me that wants to come onto the show. We could have a good
I'm
conversation with them
interested for that
sometime
one.
soon. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still waiting to hear about when. But if it's not next Saturday, I plan on doing some research before next Saturday. If we're not going to have him on, we're gonna do something else.
Are you gonna watch Dahmer?
I do want to watch Dahmer. We do have to talk about that.
What do
And
I have
how-
to research for next Saturday? We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. Jack Ryan says what will trigger it will be proper discovery of aliens to the larger public. Dude, that's one thing I do want to research. So look into this a little bit, Justin and Jared, is these declassified documents, because they've been slowly declassifying documents on UFO sightings and aliens and stuff like that. I want to know if there actually have been any UFO recoveries. I watched something today about I watched a lot after work. I watched something today about somebody who wants to, they're waiting to get a contract. They're hoping someone approaches them with a contract to tear apart a UFO aircraft, because he's an engineer. His company works with, aircrafts and shit like that. And he wants to tear apart a UFO to try to understand the technology behind it. So I'm wondering if there is something that has been found somewhere. I'm gonna
have to read this. These
There
declassified
100%
documents.
is, and you're gonna have to send me that video.
Which video?
The one you were just talking about.
Oh, okay.
Or-
Yeah, I'll have to find it again, because remember, I closed out everything because apparently it ruined my whole computer.
Well, it looks like Jack does not like Dahmer, so
Dante's fantastic.
That's all right. I have to watch it. I'm also curious as to how so many people don't know who he is. And I mean, there's the other thing. It's going to be one of the reasons someone else decides to become a serial killer.
Well, Jack, who's your favorite serial killer?
You can't.
There's that again. Favorite serial killer.
You can
Oh my
become a
God.
serial killer anymore with all the technology and cameras.
You would
fucking
think
hard.
so, unless you're good enough. But it glorifies it, man. It glorifies it, and it just feeds the fire,
But,
man. For some of
I mean, while we're on the topic of favorite serial killer, Jared, who's yours?
Let's see. I don't know, but I'm fascinated with true crime, and I do like watching. Like, I watch Criminal Minds. I loved Mindhunter. Like watching that. It was Ed Kemp that I was fascinated with on Mindhunters. So the guy that played Ed Kemp was same guy. He plays on the Umbrella Academy. He was a really good actor, but I'm just fascinated with all that. We watch tons of crime shows, which kind of gets me to where my wife watches more than most, and she's always telling me that she knows how to hide bodies. I'm like, okay.
Stump fires burn forever.
Yeah.
Do a serial. Okay, well, so Jordan in chat, our buddy Scoobs says, do a serial killer draft 1 through 5.
1 through
So
5.
hold on. Let's hold on to that. Let's do that when we do a serial killer episode. If you want to do serial killers and alien talk next week, let's do that. Let's get our shit done with that. Let's do some research
Scoobs,
with
would
that.
you like to
We'll
come
get
on
into that.
and do that?
But as for right now, I think we gotta wrap up a little bit here and come back fire and strong for next week, right? So again, everybody, if you are listening to the audio version, do not forget we are live every single week. We alternate Thursdays and Saturdays for right now. Next week it will be Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, Eastern Daylight Time for another few weeks. But you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. And then after the fact, the videos will be available on all those platforms. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple, and Google as well. Do not forget to share everything you see. Go follow us on social medias. Everywhere you can find us. Definitely check out the Instagram and the TikToks and all the cool shit. And don't forget to hit up the merch store as well. Streamlabs.com/NTT podcast/merge. Get yourself some cool shit today. And until next week, when apparently we're doing a serial killer draft, we'll see you all later.
Later.
All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.